Okay guys, this is going to be your intro to fractions tutorial, how we're going to manipulate fractions. So first we're going to start out with just simplifying fractions. We'll do a couple of these. Your example here is 4/8. So you're given an even number on top and an even number on bottom. That means you need to reduce. So if we have 4/8, we got to figure out what number goes into both 4 and 8 evenly, and ideally we pick the highest number that would go into 4 and 8. So the highest number that goes into 4 and 8 is 4, so we're going to divide both numbers by 4. Whatever you do at the bottom, you do the top, and vice versa. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now we're left with odd number on top, even number on bottom. That tells us we are simplified. So this is our final answer. So we get 1/2. Let's do number 3 here, where we have 12/16. If you don't know the largest number that'll go into both top and bottom numbers evenly, you can always start with 2. 2 will go into all even numbers. So 12 divided by 2 gives you 6. 16 divided by 2 gives you 8. Now, we're looking at our top number. If it's still even, then we need to reduce again. So we can keep going by 2 until we get odd number on top. 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. 3 is our odd number on top, which means we are finished. So that is how we get the answer to number 3. So now we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to compare fractions. This would be like getting a common denominator. So we start with a fraction that's already simplified. In our example here, we have 1/2, 1/2. And we're going to turn that into another fraction where we're given the denominator of the new fraction. So if we were adding and subtracting fractions, we would need to find a common denominator before we can add and subtract. So I have a 2 and an 8, so I'm going to find out, take the smaller one, what I can multiply that by to turn it into the larger one. So 2 times 4 gives us 8. Just like before, whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So we multiply the top by 4 also. 1 times 4 gives us 4. So that's our answer, is 4/8. Now let's do number 2 together. We have 7/8. And we're given a 32 as our new denominator. So what we need to do something to that 8. We're going to multiply that 8 by something to get 32. So you can say 8 goes into 32 4 times. You can know that 4 times 8 is 32. Either way, it gives you both. Both of those give you the answer of 4. So 8 goes into 32 4 times. 8 times 4 equals 32. That's why we use 4. Whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top, that gives us 28. So our answer is 28. So now we're in the opposite. We have an unsimplified fraction, so our even number is on top and bottom. Now we're going to do the next example of improper fractions and changing those into mixed numbers. So in improper fractions, when you have the bigger number on top and a smaller number on bottom. So our example here is 9/8. What you're going to do is you're going to see how many times the denominator will go into the numerator. So 8 goes into 9 1 time. However many times it goes in there without going over is your whole number. Now 8 goes into 9 1 time. There's 1 left over. That's your remainder. Your remainder becomes your top number. And your bottom number stays the same. You just drag it over. So we get 1 1/8. 9/8 equals 1 1/8. Let's do number 2 together again. So we get 13 over 8. First step is always see how many times the bottom number will go into the top number. So 8 will go into 13 one time. And we figure out what our remainder is because 8 times 1 is 8. And we put it into 13, so our remainder will be 13 minus 8 gives us 5. Okay, so 5 is now our top number. And our bottom number we know is 8. We just drag that over, it stays the same. So 1 and 5/8 is our final answer there. And lastly, on our intro to fractions, we're going to go the opposite way from that. And we're going to put mixed numbers. We're going to start with a mixed number and change that to an improper fraction. So we have, in our example, 3.5. Just going to do it right here. 3 and 1 over 2. I called this around the world, or that's how I was taught in school, is go around the world. So you start at your bottom and you go all the way around to the top. So you go all the way around. So you're going to multiply the denominator times the whole number and then add the top number to that. So 2 times 3 gives us 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then our denominator stays the same again. So we get 7 over 2 for our example, like we have up here. Okay, let's do number 2 together. So we have 1 and 5/16. Okay, so we're going to go around the world. We're going to say 16 times 1. That gives us 16. 16 plus 5 gives us 21. So we have 21 over 16. The bottom number stays the same again. So 21 over 16 is our final answer. Okay, do the rest of these on your own. What you're going to do is you're just going to type directly into this worksheet. Just type your answer in. You don't have to write your work down or take a picture of your work or anything. Just type the answer in here, directly into the Google Doc.